The context. MissLalaVT is an indie Puerto Rican VTuber who debuted on April 25th, 2022, and is known for being a Twitch ambassador and being one of the founding advisors for the Twitch VTuber Creator Club. The controversy started on January 25th, 2026, when Lala made a brief post on Twitter expressing her opinion on the US Immigrations and Customs Enforcement Agency, or ICE for short. Around 4 to 5 hours later, YouTube commentator Rev Says Desu, or just Rev, quote retweeted Lala's statement, where he would point out an alleged contradiction between her belief against ICE and her VTuber identity, stating that someone, quote, LARPing as a 1950s VTuber, hating a federal agency that's, quote, more tame than any law enforcement agency of the time period included in her LARP, was hypocritical. The responses. Generally speaking, most of the responses were very negative towards Rev, as many pointed out that just because a VTuber takes on a specific theme for their identity, it doesn't mean that they have to commit to supporting or antagonizing certain beliefs based on their identity. Many also pointed out the questionable comment regarding the supposed quote-unquote tame agency. Lala would respond to Rev around 5 hours later, inviting Rev to have a conversation regarding her actions, and stating that just because he doesn't like her opinions, it doesn't mean that he had to allegedly send hate towards her through a targeted reaction. Rev would respond to Lala the next day with a counter-argument, stating that he never antagonized his community against her, and how her community was allegedly harassing him, not the other way around. He would claim that Lala made a, quote, obnoxious virtue signaling post, and suggested to Lala that she shouldn't have made those types of posts if she couldn't handle the backlash. Both sides would receive some positive and negative replies from the community. However, most of the community favored Lala throughout this interaction, with many calling out Rev's alleged performative scripture quotes and his community's negative responses towards Lala. The sponsorship crash. During and after this interaction, several creators, with various sources having different ranges, began to drop their partnerships with AdvancedGG, a GamerSubs competitor, with creators on Twitter and Blue Sky announcing their departures from the company. While some were more subtle regarding their reasoning than others, the common theme that was shared was that these creators were departing because Rev and Darlene Straube, Rev's wife, were both AdvancedGG partners, with Rev allegedly being one of their largest partners. More specifically, these creators would highlight the interaction between Rev and Lala as the key factor that influenced their decision. This would end up causing internal panic in AdvancedGG, with a user by the name of SayRoseVT posting screenshots of internal discussions within AdvancedGG's staff, sourced by an anonymous whistleblower. These screenshots would show staff members attempting damage control within the community Discord server by removing those speaking about the situation in the name of quote-unquote standard procedure, though they are feeling the external pressure from the community and ultimately feel that commenting on the situation should be avoided until a formalized announcement comes out. Prior to Rose's post, a user by the name of Existential Bread would provide supporting evidence by calling out the staff's moderation, pointing out how not only moderators were removing negative reactions to statements being made, but were also allegedly kicking users who were adding those reactions. Alex, the head of operations at AdvancedGG, would respond to Bread's post, stating that the staff team removed Bread due to allegedly, quote, spreading hate through emojis and breaking server rules, as well as pointing out her lack of official affiliation with AdvancedGG. This response would receive massive backlash, with many voicing their issue with the idea of spreading hate through message reactions. The next day, on January 29th, AdvancedGG would put out a statement on Twitter, expressing anti-hate statements and announcing their internal investigation. A fair number of people took this as a statement of inaction rather than an intent to resolve the situation, with people speculating that Rev and Straub will continue to have their partnerships with AdvancedGG, potentially leading to the downfall of the company as a result. However, on January 30th, 2026, AdvancedGG announced that they had removed partnerships that were quote-unquote at issue. A few hours later, both Straub and Rev would confirm the removal, with both of them expressing immense disappointment in AdvancedGG's decision. While Straub would keep it brief, Rev would be more critical of the company, alleging that multiple partners in the company were harassing him and Straub, explicitly mentioning a VTuber in a different post by the name of Vex. Rev would also initially plan to post a video going over his side and the hypocritical behavior from AdvancedGG, stated otherwise the next day, and chose to make a small statement in a video where he briefly expressed disappointment in the situation. The aftermath. As of this video, Rev and Straub have not acquired any new sponsorships, though that doesn't mean they won't find anyone anytime soon. However, both Rev and Straub would start focusing on their Patreons again, making them more active. As with all my videos, do not harass anyone in and outside of this video.